Like this is what rocket launches are about. It is really exciting, and I'm just happy to be sharing this moment with you, Jackie.
I am too, and I'm also very happy to see continually smiling faces out of those capsule windows. That is great sign for today's flight.
Yes, they are all ready to go, our 4 astronauts. Why don't we take a moment, Jackie, and talk through the flight profile for today's launch?
That'd be great. So as you can see here in the flight profile, the new Shepard will lift off from Launch Site 1 here outside of Van Horn, Texas. Once New Shepard has lifted off, it'll approach that Kármán line, the 100-kilometer internationally recognized line of space. And at that point, our capsule with our crew will separate from that booster, and the capsule will continue on over that Kármán line into space. The capsule at this point full of crew who are unbuckled, floating around and getting their 3 to 4 minutes of microgravity. While they're having a great time, hopefully doing backflips, not forgetting to look out that window, the booster is headed back down to Earth. So those wedge fins at the top of the booster will be the first to deploy on its way back. And then as the booster continues down, we will put out those drag brakes. The booster is coming down hot at this point, very fast. Those drag brakes will significantly slow it down. As we approach the landing pad, that BE-3 engine will relight. It will hover, which we often are asked if that's CGI. It is real, that hover. And then the booster will softly touch down in the West Texas desert. The capsule, meanwhile, on its way back to Earth. The first thing to happen here is those drogue parachutes will deploy, slowing down that capsule, followed by the beautiful big main parachutes. And then just before that soft touchdown, we do fire some retro thrusters. They do kick up a bit of dirt out in West Texas, but that does ensure a very soft touchdown of about 1 to 2 miles per hour for our crew out there.
It really is a soft landing back down here in the West Texas desert. And as a reminder, you know, this is the standard flight profile. We are now in full customer operations, but we have tested this flight profile and vetted it across several flights over the last several years. We had 15 consecutive flights, remember, before we decided to put people on board. We wanted to make sure that we understood not just the vehicle in nominal conditions, but to really push the envelope and stretch the vehicle to make sure that it was a robust vehicle for our customers. And of course, you heard about how we think about safety and development throughout the culture, but also in the operations, manufacturing, et cetera, from Andrew Lake, who joined us on the show a little bit earlier. All right, with that, we are at T-minus 11 minutes and 50 seconds to go until launch. Our 4 astronauts are in the capsule, harnessed in. We see Audrey Powers on the left. You can't quite see it, but going clockwise, we have William Shatner, then Chris Boshuizen, and Glen de Vries in the capsule, all ready to go for launch as we tick down here. Let's take a moment, continue to gaze at our beautiful rocket as she prepares for flight this morning.
Here we are at just about T-minus 10 minutes until launch with our astronauts and especially our customers, Glen and Chris, on board. There's really no way to fully understand how they're feeling in this moment without being on there. But we do know someone who has experienced this and can share a little bit about that. Our first customer, Oliver Damon, 18 years old, the youngest person ever to go to space. Let's hear it from him.
There was not a single moment in life that I thought I would be the youngest astronaut ever. And to have been given this chance by Blue is so amazing. To meet the other astronauts and see everything is so cool.
We'd like to run this one through at full speed.
We're going up in that tomorrow.
Yeah. Yes, we are.
I think there was not a single nerve in my body that was like afraid. I think it's because of the track record of Blue. The launch and the power of the G's, like you're going up to the sky.
Oh, wow.
And of course the weightlessness.
Oh, wow, God.
Pretty cool. What I've just been through, I've been dreaming about all my life. Let's hope that many, many more people can do this. Because this experience you should share with more and more people. It's so amazing.
Oliver's perspective for someone so young is just amazing. I'm so encouraged by this next generation. I actually did like the part where he said he's been waiting for this his whole life. He's substantially younger than me, so I'm still a little bit jealous of Oliver. We're at T-minus 9 minutes until our second human launch, awaiting the go, no-go poll.
Channel 1 and UHF for the go poll for terminal count and launch. Capsule.
Go.
Booster.
Go.
Ground.
Go.
Safety.
Go.
Capcom.
Go.
Engineering.
Go.
This is the flight director on Channel 1 and UHF voice. Booster commence the terminal count.
Copy flight.
I guess that's it, huh? We're going.
As you heard it, we are go for launch, go for second human flight. I am so excited for this crew. Now, earlier this week, I sat with them to discuss rockets and space and the future. Let's get to know our crew a little bit better. All right, guys, you're just a couple of days at this point from going to space. Anybody excited?
Yes.
A little bit. Something, just a little bit?
You are.
I am. I'm excited for you guys. I'm Glenn and Chris in particular. You have bought these tickets to go to space. Why?
Yeah, the ticket is for the view. The ticket is to really get that understanding of what it's like to see Earth from that perspective and feel like we're part of this tiny little planet and this little civilization that frankly has a lot of work to do to make Earth work better, to make it more sustainable. And I want to carry that feeling that we're going to get from that view back down with me and hopefully turn that into making the world a better place. And frankly, I think being able to do that is something that can not just be great for those of us who have the privilege of being able to do this now, but will fuel this industry that will allow us to have as many people as possible on the planet see that, and everybody benefit from the things that are going to come out of space and space technology.
Yeah, I mean, this is, for me, for personally a lifelong dream, but I realized that, space is opening up for everyone. This is the beginning of a new era, right? The first 60 years of space exploration were the domain of governments. You had to be a space superpower to send highly trained astronauts into space. And, Glenn and I are just regular citizens flying up. It's amazing that this is happening. I think in about 60 years, we'll look back at this year and go, this is the year the doors finally open for the human race to go to space.
Fantastic. And Audrey, we both have talked about going to space for such a long time. What do you want to do with this experience?
Well,
to inspire
I
others?
can't wait to get back to everybody at Blue and have them pepper me with questions. The folks who have designed this vehicle and tested this vehicle and just haven't asked me everything they want to know about what it's like when you're up there. And my nieces are coming to watch this, and they're teenagers, young kids now, and they're just absolutely mesmerized by this kind of stuff. My friends' kids are all, their Girl Scout troops are calling, and so I can't wait to talk to all them.
Fabulous. And Bill, we'll end with you. You have inspired so many for so many generations. For the kids and the young people that are going to be watching this launch and who might want to be space explorers one day, do you have any words for them?
Well, seriously, the truth of the matter is this whole Blue Origin thing is based on the idea of building industry above the Earth and taking that pollution out of this planet, out of the immediate planet, and putting it up there. That's got to be the future of the Earth, and the Earth is dependent on that and the youth. So the two work hand in hand, and so it's very important that the young people of today know that that up there is the future, and to work towards that for the improvement of the Earth.
Fabulous. Well, thank you all for coming on this journey with us as Blue Origin, but thank you for inspiring others, and also as we go forward coming out of this, continuing this inspiration. So thanks, guys. Good luck. Godspeed.
Wow, well, some great perspectives from a crew that's clearly more than ready to fly to space today. Well, we are just under T-minus 5 minutes until liftoff, so things are getting real.
Things are getting really, really, and what I really loved about that video is this crew gets it, right? Every single person on that rocket gets it, how important going to space is, of course, for the ability to have that incredible view and the incredible experience of being in zero G, but also to inspire others and understanding what the road to space is about and why we're trying to ultimately have millions of people living and working in space to make life better back here on Earth.
And a big thing they all talked about that is truly so special is, you know, everyone wants to know how those 3 minutes were in space, but they're excited about what comes after, you know, and I think that's just something really, really special about this crew. Their focus on, like you said, inspiring others after this flight, long after this flight is over.
Exactly. All right, so again, T-minus 3 minutes and 50 seconds to go until launch. What's coming up shortly here? So at T-minus 2 minutes, we send the show over to New Shepard. She's a fully autonomous vehicle, which means that from T-minus 2 minutes through launch up to apogee and back down to landing, the rocket is in control of itself. Of course, we have an incredible team in our Mission Control Center that have their eyes glued on their screens to make sure that everything is going well and is within bounds. But we built the rocket to be autonomous for safety. Again, we think that while we've got some pretty smart people in that mission control, the rocket is in fact quicker and faster at controlling itself. So what we're going to see here shortly, the rocket is going to go through what we call the bit checks, the built-in tests. At the base of the rocket, you see 3 of the 4 fins down there. Those are the aft fins. Those are going to move back and forth. We want to make sure that they've got full freedom of movement. Also, what you're going to see at the base of the rocket, you can kind of see, it's a little hard in this image, you're going to see the engine nozzle gimbal. The engine moves back and forth. It also helps with the directional capability of the rocket on ascent, but also especially on descent as it comes in to land on the landing pad just 2 miles north of where it's taken off from. And then, of course, you've seen throughout the morning the rocket venting. It's full of propellant at this point, but we want to make sure that we keep the propellant tanks within bounds, of course, of pressure and temperature. This morning, a little bit easier to do that versus our last flight, which was in the middle of July. It was warmer. It's actually a nice balmy morning here down in West Texas. But again, we've got our team who have their eyes on their computer screens, making sure that everything is within bounds. And there goes the gantry retracting at T-minus 2 minutes. Let's listen in. There go the aft fin checks at the base of the rocket. Our astronauts can feel that. They are sitting at the top of a 60-foot rocket, about 20 meters tall. T-minus 1 minute. And there you can just see slightly there the gimbaling engine at the base of the rocket. All right, everybody. Chris Boshuizen, Glen de Vries, Audrey Powers, and William Shatner are about to go where very few humans have gone before. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time to launch this rocket. Godspeed, New Shepard.
Minus 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4. Command engine start. 2, 1.
the second human spaceflight crew. What a launch. We are on our way to Max Q, the first milestone here on its flight to space. You can follow along, obviously, with the altimeter at the base of the screen, as well as the speedometer. They are gaining speed on their climb to space. We have confirmed max Q. This is when the aerodynamic stresses on the vehicle were at their maximum. Thank you again, everybody, for joining us live for New Shepard's second human flight with Audrey Powers, William Shatner, our customers Glen de Vries and Chris Boshuizen on board. They are well on their way to space. So far, a nominal flight, a clean burn on our Blue Engine 3. New Shepard giving them a beautiful flight to space this morning. The rocket is climbing towards an altitude. We're aiming just over the Kármán line, the internationally recognized line of space of 100 kilometers. That is about 328,000 feet. And a gorgeous view down the rocket. And now we've had main engine cut off. The BE-3 engine has shut off. And in just a moment, we're going to separate the capsule from the booster. And at that point, our astronauts will have the opportunity to get out of their harnesses and enjoy the beauties of zero G. Let's wait to listen. And there you can see a clean separation between the capsule and the booster. And there you can see the capsule from the top of the booster. They are continuing their ascent over the Kármán line. You'll know when they hit apogee, when the speed hits 0. And there they are, over 328,000 feet, over 100 kilometers. Welcome to space. The newest astronauts on board our crew capsule. And there they are. They have just about hit their apogee at about 351,000 feet. And while we don't have apogee, I can just imagine, Jackie, they are having the time of their lives. Thank you again, everybody, for joining us live from West Texas. So far, a nominal flight for our second human crew. So exciting, Jackie, to have sent Captain Kirk himself, William Shatner, to space. I cannot wait to hear his commentary upon return, as well as our two customers, Chris Boshuizen from Australia, to all the fans tuning in from down under. A big shout out to you guys, as well as Glen de Vries and our very own Audrey Powers. They are coming back home. The booster, of course, is going to beat the capsule back home. It is more aerodynamically shaped, of course, at the base of the capsule. It's kind of a blunt end, so it's less aerodynamic. What we're going to see coming up shortly is at the top of the rocket, we have the ring fin. There's some what we call the pie fins that extend from the ring fin, as well as the drag brakes. The pie fins, the wedge fins, help stabilize the vehicle, kind of like the feathers at the back of an arrow. And then you will also see the drag brakes. And as you mentioned, Jackie, it cuts the velocity dramatically. There you can see the wedge fins are out. Here we see the descent. We are going to expect the BE-3 engine to relight just at about 3,600 feet or about 1,200 meters above ground level. Let's wait for that now. The drag brakes have deployed. And here we come, New Shepard. Touchdown. Welcome back, New Shepard. The fourth flight to space and back for that vehicle provided a beautiful flight to space for our second human crew. Wow, that gets me every time we do this live down here in Texas. The sonic boom is so cool. Drag brakes are folding back in, as have the wedge fins. Just looks like you could fuel her up and go again. What do you think, Jackie?
And even when you know to expect the sonic boom, it still catches you off guard every time.
Talk about a rumble. A beautiful sight of our New Shepard rocket there in the West Texas desert. But of course, the show is not over. The capsule is descending. We are waiting for first the drogue chutes to deploy. Those are very much like the guide parachutes. They will subsequently be followed by the main parachutes that will first reef and then fully inflate. And there go the drogue parachutes. And here come the mains. Whew, what a flight. You can already start to hear the cheers from outside our stage here in West Texas.
I just threw a piece of foghorn up. There's a lot. Look out your window, Audrey. Oh, yeah, I see it. I can't see the booster. Where is it? Oh, from the cover. It's going to rotate. I want to find that pod and take it home. How about that, guys? How about that, guys? That was unlike anything they described. All right, we got less than 1,000 feet. All right, great. Let's down.
And here comes our crew back into the desert.
Newest astronauts 596, 97, 98, and 99.
That's unlike anything you'll ever feel.
Stand by touchdown. Stand by touchdown.
And capsule touchdown. Welcome back The newest astronauts, Audrey Powers, William Shatner, our customers, Glen de Vries, and Chris Boshuizen. What a day for you. Welcome back. I cannot wait to talk to them, Jackie, and just get what they experienced up there this morning. What a clean and beautiful flight from the rocket for our astronauts.
What an absolutely stunning flight. And I also loved hearing that audio of them on their way back about how this experience was for them. And I can't wait to hear their stories.
Well, you heard William Shatner say, this is like nothing I've ever experienced before. So coming from a man who in theory has experienced space
who
for
has
decades.
gone warp speed and traveled the entire intergalactic universe. This was like nothing he's ever seen before.
What a day for our astronauts. So now our team is preparing landing safety operations and recovery of our astronauts from the crew capsule. We'll be on the ground at the landing site to follow the action in just a bit, maybe even talk to the world's newest astronauts. Some absolutely breathtaking stuff. And I'll note that you're going to see our the recovery team show up very shortly because we actually send them out before the capsule has landed, because through our modeling, we get by now we're very, very good at analyzing where the capsule is going to come down, given where we know.
Very precise on that landing.
Exactly, where the winds are. And so we're going to see the recovery team come out there, and of course they will also be joined by some of their friends and family to watch as they emerge from the capsule. Let's check out these beautiful shots of our 4 astronauts there in the Texas desert after having gone up over the Kármán line and back. And here's some beautiful shots of our 4 astronauts in the capsule awaiting the recovery team. I understand from Capcom that they have had communications with those 4 astronauts, and they have all given the thumbs up that they are doing A-OK after an exhilarating flight to space and back.
Awaiting that recovery team in that champagne shower, which
Yes.
I'm now regretting that we don't have any champagne for ourselves, Ariane. That feels very unfair after this show.
There's some waves from our astronauts there. And there in the foreground, you see the capsule, the background, their ride to space, the new Shepard booster. Again, that booster has flown to space and back 4 times with this flight. And coming to get them is the recovery crew. And Jackie, you can see there, again, beautiful shots of the capsule. The parachutes actually have fallen pretty close to the capsule itself, meaning that there isn't a lot of ground wind out there. We talked about this earlier in the show, and of course we had to delay a day because of the gusty winds that have been out there. But no, today has been a beautiful day for a launch and landing of a rocket and launch and landing of 4 new astronauts.
I know we were talking to Chris a couple days ago, and he actually flew that USB full of music from around the world to space. As you mentioned, he's a DJ. So of course we have our new astronauts. We have our Club for the Future postcards that have just returned from space. And of course, you know, some of the personal items like this awesome USB full of music I wish we could be playing some of that right now.
Well, you probably will soon. Actually,
Yes.
you know, as we mentioned, Chris Boshuizen has kind of a side gig as a DJ, DJ Crispy, and he actually released an album on Friday, and I can't wait to see what he does with that music. Some musicians on board too. Of course, William Shatner. Everybody knows him as an actor. He also sings. I think that's one of the most beautiful things about what we're doing at Blue Origin. Again, opening the door to more people to go to space. Yes, the scientists, yes, the engineers, but now the artists, poets, singers, DJs, let's just see what they create coming out of this experience. We have said it before, going to space changes you. We've talked about the overview effect, and I can't wait to see how the stories that come out of, and the art that comes out of this. All right, we now have Sarah Knight going around the capsule, getting the thumbs up from each of our astronauts. Thank you again, everybody, for joining us live from West Texas, where we have just completed our second human flight of the new Shepard vehicle. Our crew on board, the great William Shatner, now who has become the oldest person to have ever flown to space at the ripe age of 90 years old, our very own Audrey Powers, as well as our two customers, Glen de Vries and Chris Boshuizen. Our recovery crew is out there and is about to open the hatch. There is our founder, Jeff Bezos, giving the big thumbs up.
This looks like a familiar shot I remember seeing recently.
Yes.
A very happy birthday.
And here come their friends and family. Again, thank you everybody for joining us live from West Texas at our launch site 1. Our second human space flight crew has gone to space and back up over the Kármán line, just over 351,000 feet. We're awaiting Jeff Bezos, who is now opening the hatch.
Yes.
There's Audrey Powers, a big hug from her sister.
Captain Kirk himself, the great William Shatner.
Our customer, Chris Boshuizen, the first full Australian citizen to go to space and back. And Glen de Vries. Some big hugs from their loved ones.
In a way, it's indescribable. In a way, it's indescribable.
That's what I thought. You have to work on it. It's so hard to describe.
You have to work on it because not only is it different than what you thought, it happens so quickly. You know what the impression I had that I never expected to have is you're shooting up.
Oh my God.
Give
And
me a
this blue
champagne
sky.
bottle. Come here. I want one. I want to hear this. Here. You want a little of this? Hey.
The champagne showers have begun. Smiles all around. William Shatner taking in the moment clearly.
What you have done. If everybody in the world needs to do this. Everybody in the world needs to see the
Oh my God.
it was unbelievable. Unbelievable. I mean, you know, the little things of weightlessness. But to see the blue color go whip by, and now you're staring into blackness. That's the thing. The covering of blue, this sheet, this blanket, this comforter of blue that we have around it. We think, oh, that's blue sky. And then suddenly you shoot through it all of a sudden, as though you whip off a sheet off you when you're asleep, and you're looking into blackness, into black ugliness. And you look down, and there's the blue down there, and the black up there, and it's just, there is Mother and Earth and comfort, and is there death? I don't know. Is that death? Is that the way death is? Whoop, and it's gone. Jesus. It was so moving to me. This experience has been something unbelievable. You see, yeah, you know, weightless, my stomach went up, and I thought, God, this is so weird. But not as weird as the covering of blue. This is what I never expected. Oh, it's one thing to say, oh, the sky and the thing and the fragile thing. It's all true. But what isn't true, what is unknown until you do it, is there's this pillow, there's this soft blue. Look at the beauty of that color. And it's so thin. And you're through it in an instant. It's what how thick is it? We know.
I mean, the atmosphere.
Is it a mile? 2 miles?
I mean, it depends on how you measure, because it thins out, but maybe 50 miles.
But you're going 2,000 miles an hour. So you're through 50 miles whatever the mathematics
Fast.
are.
Yeah, really
You know,
fast.
it's like a beat, and suddenly you're through the blue.
And then it's
And you're into black. And you're into, you know, it's mysterious and galaxies and things. But what you see is black. And what you see down there is light. And that's the difference. And not to have this, you have done something. I mean, whatever those other guys are doing, what isn't, I don't know about that. What you have given me is the most profound experience I can imagine. I'm so filled with emotion about what just happened. It's extraordinary, extraordinary. I hope I never recover from this. I hope that I can maintain what I feel now. I don't want to lose it. It's so much larger than me and life. And it hasn't got anything to do with the little green planet, the blue orb, it has nothing to do with that. It has to do with the enormity and the quickness and the suddenness of life and death. Oh my God. It's something.
It's so beautiful.
Beautiful, yes, beautiful in its way, but...
No, I mean your words.
Oh, my words.
It's just amazing.
I don't know. I can't even begin to express what I would love to do is to communicate as much as possible the jeopardy, the moment you see how the vulnerability of everything. It's so small. This air, which is keeping us alive, is thinner than your skin. It's a sliver. It's immeasurably small when you think in terms of the universe. It's negligible. This air, Mars doesn't have it.
Right there.
Nothing. I mean, and when you think of way carbon dioxide changed to oxygen, and what is it, 20% or something, that level that sustains our life, it's so thin to dirty it. I mean, that's another whole
And you
subject.
shoot through, what you were saying about shooting through it so fast.
So quickly, 50 miles
And then you're just in blackness.
You're in death.
Yeah.
The moment
This is life.
This is life, and that's death. And it's in an instant, you go, wow, that's death. That's what I saw.
That's amazing. That's amazing. And wow.
I am overwhelmed. I had no idea. You know, we were talking earlier before going, well, you know, it's going to be different. It's going to, and you have whatever that phrase is you have, that you have a different view of things. It doesn't begin to explain, to describe what for me. I mean, everybody's going to, but. And this is now the commercial. Everybody, it would be so important for everybody to have that experience through one means or another. I mean, maybe you could put it on 3D and wear the goggles and have that experience. I mean, that certainly is a technical possibility. But what you need also, we're lying there and I'm thinking, listen, one delay after another delay, we're lying there, and I'm thinking, how do I feel? And I'm thinking, I'm a little jittery here. And when they move the pins, oh, there's something in the engine. They found an anomaly in the engine. They found an anomaly in the engine. We're going to hold a little longer. Oh, you're going to hold a little longer. And I feel this, the stomach, the biome inside. And I'm thinking, okay, I'm thinking I'm a little nervous here. Another delay, I'm a little more nervous. And then the thing starts. By the way, the simulation they have to be warned. It's only a simulation. Everything else is much more powerful. Doesn't capture the and besides which, the jeopardy. Bang! This thing hits. You go, well, no, that wasn't anything like the simulation.
The G-forces,
the G-forces, and your stomach. And what's going to happen to me? Am I going to be able to survive the G-forces? You feel that? Am I going to survive it?
Yeah.
And then I think, good Lord,
just getting up the bloody gantry was another. Oh my God, what an experience! What? Nothing.
It looked like you had a moment of camaraderie with your.
Oh, we all
crewmates
hugged
up
each other.
there and-
You share. It's like being in battle together, really. And there is this bonding of being in battle, but you're also embattled inside yourself. Oh my goodness! Wow, I have had an experience.
We're gonna pin you guys now. Woo!
Okay. All right. No.
Wow.
Remember that conversation we had about it not being expectations?
Thank you again, everybody, for joining us live. Our second New Shepard astronaut crew has made it home. We just heard some wonderful words from William.
Last night, pre-flight, 0 hour, 9 a.m. And I'm gonna be high. As a kite by then. Miss the earth so much. I miss my wife. It's lonely out in space on such a tight flight. And I think it's going to be a long, long time till touchdown brings me back again to find I'm not the man they think I am back home. Oh, no, I'm a rocket man. Rocket man. Burning out his fuse out here alone. I think it's gonna be a long, long time till touchdown bring me round again and find I'm not the man they think I am.